YOLO, and welcome to episode 10 of the Pokemon Fire Red Hardcore Nuzlocke. Now, I know what you're thinking. I thought he said he was going to do some mining off screen. I did. Look. I leveled him up off screen, Cannon Fodder, Tucky Momo, Lord Helix, Squidward, all up to level 43. But I couldn't get everybody up to level 43 because it just takes forever. And I 100% will be asking my friend to hack in a bunch of rare candies for the Pokemon Emerald run, which I'm planning on doing next. Because I put a poll up on my channel, and 100% of the votes voted that I do Pokemon Emerald next. So that's what it's going to be. After fiddling around in the box for a little bit, we finally get the team pretty much set. We have quite a lot of ground to cover, as this is going to be a longer episode, but we've got all of our team members ready to rock and roll. And they're going to be doing a lot of rocking and rolling. First thing what we're planning to do is hit up the Haunted Mansion on Cinnabar Island. Then we're going to go and do Blaine's Fire-type gym, which should be easier now that we have all these powerful Water-type Pokemon. We upgrades, people, upgrades.
Upgrades, people, upgrades!
After a quick jog, we get in here and get our first encounter. A Grimer. So this will be our encounter for this area. I go for the stunning strats, and then he hits me with a disable. And then I say, why not? And I throw the Master Ball. Why? Purple Pokemon go in Purple Pokeball. Now I tried to name him Purple Slime, but there wasn't enough room, so instead we ended up going with Slime Boy.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
After having a totally normal, healthy reaction to Eradicate, and not overreacting in any way, shape, or form, we continue on through this entire place. Seeing a Growlithe does kind of make me feel bad for, our Pokemon named the Goat. But he tragically had given his life so that the rest of our team may live. By the end of this campaign, we will stand upon a mound of corpses, each one another brick in the wall that led us to victory. Their sacrifices will not be in vain! Although, some of them were completely avoidable, and it was just a very humbling moment, because I was playing poorly. But that's not going to happen in the Pokemon Emerald game, which I have less experience with, because I'll totally do better there. Unfortunately, I forgot to heal up Lucky, and we got hit by a Pursuit. Have I mentioned how much I hate those rats? So we lose Lucky, our shed skin rest strat. Now I would love to say that that's the only Pokemon that dies this episode, but if I said that, you'd call me this.
Liar!
That's what we like to call foreshadowing. I pop into the store, buy a few things, and then run back to the mansion and drop a repel. And immediately get jumped by another rat. It's because this rat is the same level or higher than my lead Pokemon, which is T-Fish. But still, it's so annoying. I bought the repels. This guy over here, he's got Charmander and he's got a Charmeleon. Last time I checked, you can't catch those anywhere. So either A, stole them from Professor Oak, B, got those as his starters and grew up into a full-grown man and now does crime, and still didn't evolve them into a Charizard, or C, got them via breeding. Oh, this reminds me. To circle back to what I was saying, so we're going to do this mansion first, we're going to do Blaine's Fire-type gym, then we're going to go have our little island adventures. After that, I'm planning on also doing a Giovanni's gym. That's right, I'm intending to do 2 different gyms in this episode, as well as kill Moltres, the third and final legendary bird, the last of Lugia's children. Yeah, we've got a lot of ground to cover in this episode. In fact, there was so much ground to cover, I had to record this episode in 2 different chunks, because I didn't have enough time on the previous weekend. Now, my goal is to get these videos out every week, but with how long it takes me to edit them, it's more like every other week. I started recording for the first episode back in, I want to say September of 25. So yes, that's when this whole thing started. And it was only in recent times where I actually got very rapid with my recording, editing. So I could get these things out roughly once a fortnight, which is 2 weeks if you didn't know. A fortnight is an actual technical term for a 2-week time period. The more you know. And now I got a surprise for this Ninetales.
Surprise, motherfucker!
That's right, after Bob emerges, she quickly lays a beat down before getting put into a confuzzled state, fighting through the confusion and slaying the Ninetales. Bob is honestly one of our more powerful Pokemon and one of the fan favorites.
Ha ha ha! Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys! Wah!
Foreshadowing aside, we get into a dangerous situation. An Electrode explodes and nearly kills our Thundercat. There are so many kamikaze Pokemon in these early games that it feels like anything that could explode will explode. So we take a moment to heal up all our Pokemon and remove their status conditions before we go into the basement. And of course we gotta remember to use the repel, that way we don't get attacked, and we get attacked by a random Pokemon who just so happens to be a rat. We slay that thing with zero mercy before making our way into the basement. Now the basement puzzle really isn't that difficult, it's the puzzle upstairs that I genuinely could not figure out. And with a couple of wing attacks, T-Fish slaughters that guy's fire horse before we get attacked by yet another random rat. Honestly, I should have put one of my higher Pokemon in the lead of the party so I wouldn't get attacked by random rats, but you live and learn. And then we get sniped from this guy all the way off screen who immediately blitzes us. So we swap into a Pokemon who's perfect counter, the King, before we see an Electrode. Thankfully, he locks himself into rollout, we use dig, easy peasy, putting in pie, kill the Electrode, make him die. And no surprise, we get attacked by another rat. We're just going to keep getting rat after rat after rat, because those are the only things that are high enough level to spawn in while we're using the max repel. So we blitz over here, grab the key, go down here, grab the TM solar beam, and then OCD style check each of those trees, no hidden items, before getting into it with yet another rat. And now I spend the next, I want to say 5 to 10 minutes running around trying to figure out the puzzle upstairs because there is a doorway right there. Well, actually, let me go and flip this switch. Then you'll be able to see it. There's a door right there that you can't get to. Now I thought, okay, I must have missed something. I go back in and try everything all over again. And nothing. I think it might be some kind of like hidden event area. Because I, for the life of me, could not figure it out. And I refused to Google it, because I'm like, this is a children's game. If I can't figure it out, then it can't be done. But yeah, I ran around through this entire building way too many times, so we're going to skip all that and go right to Blaine's gym. Now, there was a little bit of team rearranging off screen to grab our powerful water types. But the King makes it to where we almost don't even need them, as this first guy, who is completely optional. In fact, all of the trainers in here, except for Blaine, are optional with a simple little puzzle system. But I figured, they're just free EXP, and they pay money, so why not? So I go in there, I have the King lay a beat down, and then we just go and steamroll all these chumps. They're really not that much of a challenge. In fact, his underlings are so weak, it's kinda got me feeling like this.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Him, her, him, bodies!
I see dead people.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
Wow.
Bang!
After besting Blaine's battalion, try saying that 3 times fast, I scurry on back to the Pokemon Center to heal up and to do a little team rearranging. This is where the B team, or the Aqua Force, comes into play. All these water-type Pokemon that I spent ages grinding up will now have their moment to shine. Because I'm not taking any chances with Blaine. Those Fire Blasts do a ridiculous amount of damage. In a different Nuzlocke I did, not a hardcore Nuzlocke, he wiped my team by just straight up nuking me over and over. I then use a secret technique that I learned from Koga, called sneak up behind them and attack them when they're not looking, to initiate the battle. Blaine's not playing any games. He starts out strong, round 1, releasing a level 42 Growlithe on us. We go Nessie, level 38, and immediately set up the rain. Thankfully we outspeed, because then he hits us with a Fire Blast which does pitiful damage. So what are we going to do? Swap out. Now I was not expecting Cannon Fodder to have chunky stats like this, because I've never used one of these before. But I immediately go and use Water Spout, which also cuts down fire type attack in half, so all fire type attacks are now doing 1/4 of their normal damage. And we surf, obliterating the first dog, an under-evolved Pokemon, so it's fine. His Ponyta comes out, and we surf. Again, it was an unevolved Pokemon, so it probably could have possibly survived one. Now the Rapidash. It may not be a surprise, we surf! It survives, does a little fire spin, and, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We once again, I am asking you for some surfs. Now backed into a corner, the bald man throws out his ace, level 47 Arcanine. A surf brings it to about 50%, maybe a little less. He brings us dangerously low, but I mean, it's Cannon Fodder, we're okay with losing it. We hit a surf, crush it, and obliterate Blaine. Honestly, I probably over-prepared for this, being paranoid, but you know what they say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. After looking at the team and realizing we really don't need that much healing, I go outside, where I meet this strange man who says he wants to take me to his private island. I agree as a dumb 10-year-old and get yoinked away.
I'm looking for booty. I like you, and I want you. Now we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
I'm in danger!
Thankfully, just as we were about to leave, he was called away on business. So I go onto the boat with my friend Bill, the Pokemaniac who turned himself into a Clefairy and gave us the ticket for the SS Anne instead. Wonder what could have happened on that island if I had gone, but oh well. I get over here to Bill's place and realize a problem. The PC system is down. This entire story arc requires you to go and save some kid on the 3rd island after going to the 2nd island and finding out she's missing. Which means we're stuck with the B team. We cannot actually get our good Pokemon. I decide to make the most of this and surf around and try and get a wild encounter in this area, as well as go to the grass patch to the south. But now I am a little perturbed that I can't have the Pokemon I actually like. I have a bunch of dumb ones like Ducky Momo, and Cannon Fodder. Our first encounter is a Fearow, which is part of the species clause, so we kill that thing and we try again. And we get a Spearow, the baby version, so we try again. And we get a Fearow, and we try again. Now we got a Money Cat, but still we've already had one of those, and then another Fearow, so I realized we're not going to be able to get an encounter in this area. Which theoretically means we can take the encounter that would have been here and put it towards the Safari Zone, or towards the Game Corner. Let me know which one you guys think I should do. Go with the Safari or Game Corner, the casino area. I am partial towards the Safari Zone though, myself, because I really do be wanting to get one of those Kangaskhans, and this just would give me another opportunity to get another Kangaskhan. I run over to the 2nd island where the guy's like, oh, my daughter is missing. The biker then goes, hey, is this the 3rd island? No. Oops, wrong island. I come into this grass patch up here near the waterfall, and come into a similar situation. I realize that we're basically tapped out for most encounters for the rest of the game. Victory Road, I think, has an Onix, which could be a unique encounter for us. But this entire geographical region has like maybe one valid possible encounter. So we've pretty much tapped out everything we can do. I'm not exactly sure what we should do. Definitely let me know in the comments below if we should just spam the Pokemon Center, not the Pokemon Center, the Game Corner, or the Safari Zone with like 3 different encounters to make up for all these islands, or if we're just like, you did your best, but you ran out of luck. We end up picking on some bikers who are harassing the townspeople, and we obliterate them so easily with Lord Helix, the epic MVP of the ancient prehistoric world, to the point where the biker boss has to come out and think he can defeat us. But what he doesn't know is Ducky Momo is going to break his brain. I mean, psychic type attacks on poison type Pokemon, it's not really that hard. Oh. I guess maybe it is that hard. As Ducky Momo dies, and we're unable to replace it, which means we have to carry its corpse around with us. Now, I do want to heal my Pokemon, but if I heal my Pokemon while dead Ducky Momo is in the party, it kind of shows him as full health, and I really don't want to forget that he died and then accidentally use an illegal mon, so I just keep his corpse there, and I decide not to heal my party until I have the chance to get rid of his cadaver. We get into a double battle over here with these two Clefairy chicks, and also, I'm very glad for these double battles. I know this is technically a remake of the Gen 1 games, and the Gen 1 games didn't have double battles, unless I'm completely mistaken. But it is a feature that they allowed in, and it's one of the battle gimmicks that I actually really enjoy. Double battles, I love them. Triple battles, I enjoy them, but not as much as double battles, because it feels like they tried and didn't quite succeed, but at least it's not rotation battles. Those things kind of sucked, and I didn't like them. Like, out of all the different battling gimmicks, that's probably my least favorite one. Now, the raid battles that you do, those big crystal dens, that I ended up liking. But out of all the battle gimmicks, I'd say double battles are the top. Triple battles, yeah, I'd put the triple battles above the raid battles myself. And then rotation battles all the way at the bottom. That was done in either black and white or black and white 2. But it shows that they're not afraid to break the mold, or at least step out of bounds and try new exciting things in the games, which I do appreciate. We then make our way into Berry Forest, where we run into a Psyduck, which is a reroll, so we just kill it and move on, and get an actual legitimate encounter in Venomoth. So now I just start chucking balls because I don't want to risk killing it by hitting it, because Lord Helix is too much of an absolute unit not to kill whatever is in front of him. Eventually, after just spamming balls, we catch Venomoth, and we name it Lamp Lover. On account of the fact that, moths love lamps. They're the light and the flame, they just must move towards the light. One thing I will say that I'm disappointed in this forest... Oh, a wild Chomo appeared. The thing I'm disappointed is, it's called Berry Forest, yet there's nowhere that you can grow your berries. I'm super stoked for actually being able to do berry farming in, Emerald that I'm doing next. Because I love berry farming, especially when you can just stock up a bunch of citrus berries and then plan out strategies and fights. It leaves a lot more room for creativity. We end up finding the lost little girl, who's scared and crying, and we ask her why. Only to find the horrifying fact that she is indeed being hunted by a Hypno. A fully evolved Chomo. Now, what we've seen from them in the anime, plus their Pokedex entries, and now the fact that this girl's in the forest being hunted by one, we absolutely have to save her. And this is also one of the darker moments in Pokemon. They were a little grittier, they were a little edgier and grittier back in the old generations. But nevertheless, we decide to do battle with this thing to save this poor kid.
Hang up that computer call. Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantical.
Stop it. Get some help.
We realize just how devious and down bad this Hypno is. So we begin doing battle. But we're not damaging it. We're using the move Tickle on it? I think it would actually like that. Joke's on me, he's into that. But every time we use Tickle, his attack and special attack drop. Now, he raises his attack a couple times, and I end up doing Tickle to him a total of 8 or 9 times. But the whole reason I was tickling him in the first place is not because I'm a weird degenerate, but because I wanted my Omnite, who looks like an octopus, to use 10 tickles on him.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You need to leave!
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Yeah, I'm not quitting my day job to become a comedian. We save the kid, go back to Bill, fix the computer, go drop off our dead, and then rearrange our team. Well, we heal up, then rearrange our team. Now, one of the Pokemon that's important for us to grab is Rawr XD, which means I love you in Dinosaur. The only reason we really need that one is because it has fly to get us over to this town, so we can get back on the SSA and go back to the island so that we just fought to escape. I know it seems a little crazy, confounding, and maybe like I've gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but there is a method to my madness. First being we get a new encounter over here, our Ponyta, which we name Hot Rod. But secondly, the thing that I had promised before, which is on this island, if you go to this second island here, and then north to a third island on this island, that's like 3 islands per island. That's 65% more island per island.
Cave Johnson here, introducing the consumer version of our most popular military-grade product.
Hello.
The turret. How do we get so many bullets in them? Like this. Plus, we fire the whole bullet. That's 65% more bullet per bullet.
But as I was saying, the northernmost island of these 3 islands on the first island is Moltres' home, who is the legendary bird that we will be absolutely murderizing, just as Lord Helix is slaughtering all of this person's Pokemon, to the point where we even obliterate a Clefairy, gain enough experience, and level up, which causes us to evolve? Lord Helix is like, evolution, finally, I'm ready!
I'm ready.
No, you ain't.
Now, this may seem like animal or Pokemon cruelty, especially at this high a level to deny the evolution. But there's a method to my madness once again. You see, if he stays a sweet little Almanite, he learns the move Ancient Power at level 48 or 49. But if we allow him to evolve into an Omnistar, he won't learn it until, I think it's 55 or 56, which is a pretty big gap in levels. And I kind of need him to have access to these more powerful moves sooner, because we're going to be taking on Giovanni's gym as the 8th and final gym. On top of that, we then still have one more encounter with the IRS before we can make our way through Victory Road to the Elite Four. And I would rather have really strong moves on really strong Pokemon before I get into either of those 2 situations. Now, as you've seen in the background, we're doing a little bit of EXP maxing. It's like economy maxing, but for your experience. We are systematically targeting and eliminating every other trainer in this entire area, so we can squeeze out every possible natural resource of experience from them. Because every drop we get now is less horribly boring, mind-numbing grinding that I have to do later. And I'm so hoping that my friend who knows about computers and ROM hacks can get me just like 999 rare candies in my new Pokemon Emerald game. That way, I don't have to spend all my time grinding on random trainers or at that daycare just running back and forth. But that's a potential headache that I have to, or don't have to, deal with in future. Right now, I battle all these chumps, heal up, and then I go to face Moltres. And we're going to do a quick cut to the Moltres battle, because as you can see, these guys really aren't that difficult. Not very engaging of a combat.
Liar!
Okay, so I forgot about this encounter where we got a new Pokemon. But yeah, I'm going to cut here instead of over to the Moltres, because this is where we get Muscle Man.
Uh-oh.
But yes, we end up catching a Machoke as our new encounter, and we name it Muscle Man. So now I will actually be doing an editing cut to the Moltres fight. Once again, hit it from the back like Koga taught us to sneak up on it, throwing out Thundercat.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary.
After summoning our Thundercat, we felt positive, Moltres felt negative. And what should be shocking to no one, we electrically blasted this thing until, well, it died. It didn't even get a single lick of damage on us. It was like, huh? What?
You have to, what did he say? You have to, don't,
Chicken Little is a fantastic movie which I highly recommend if you haven't already seen it. But we start making our way back, making our way downtown, making our way through the hood.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
I'm just out here watching all these music videos and shit, man. What if I was rapping about the same shit they rapping about? Shit.
Making my way through the hood, sipping this yak. Niggas about to get blown with the Mac.
Oh, sometimes I truly love the internet. But yeah, we moved around, made our way through the town and the hood, got back to the mainland, flew over here, and are now about to take on Giovanni's gym after we did a little bit of healing and preparation by teaching a few TMs.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Bob once again has to fight an imposter. Now, I would make the if I had a quarter and happened twice joke, but honestly, I think this is the 4th or 5th time we've had this scenario. And these fools don't seem to learn. It's like, how many times we gotta teach this lesson, old man?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
This is a more accurate representation of what Bob truly is to us.
Built this shit! Me! Brick by brick!
Lose! I don't lose! I win! I win! That's my job! That's what I do!
In the end, I don't care whether you love me or you hate me, just as long as I win.
There is no tomorrow! There is no tomorrow! That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
I've never really used an Arbok before, and especially not in a nuzlock like this. So I had no idea just how goated with the sauce these things were. I was truly sleeping on Arbok. But now, I'm wide awake to the fact that this Pokemon, and a lot of Pokemon, turned out to be diamonds in the rough. Arbok, Caterpie, Jigglypuff, rest in peace, Miss Puff. But no, some of these Pokemon that I typically wouldn't use have been an absolute blast and a ton of fun. And this is with their limited movesets in the older games. I can only imagine how much better that these particular Pokemon are in more recent games. So I would recommend everyone try a Nuzlocke, even if just for the fact to try out new Pokemon in a way that you've never done it before, so you can gain a new appreciation and joy from these other characters that you typically wouldn't use. Especially if you were anything like me as a kid, you would have, say, a level 60 or 70 starter, and then maybe an HM slave and a bunch of randos that you just like because of how they look, but you hardly ever actually use in battle. And of course, let's not forget the box legendary. That absolutely has to be on your team, even though you're already completely overleveled and overpowered with your starter. And speaking of starters, we're actually very close to Pallet Town, our old stomping grounds, our home, where our single mother who lives in the kitchen is still sitting there waiting for us to one day return. The town in which we got our own starter. A wee little Bulbasaur named 420. He was just a little guy. And he sadly had to die. Valiantly fighting, pushing us forward against some kind of psychotic Voltorb. If only we had 420 for this gym, it might have been able to prevent what ends up happening against a Giovanni and his Rhyhorn. But I've already said too much. But let's go ahead and focus on these random battles, which are no challenge really, because Last Hope obliterates anything in her way. Easily one of my favorite Pokemon.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Walk out the door, you see someone that you know and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk walk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence.
That one really sucked. It was a one-hit KO move. It had roughly a 30% chance of hitting. Now, whenever I use a move that has a 95% accuracy, that's really 50% because it's not 100% to hit. But when they use a 30% accurate move, they land an instant kill shot on Last Hope, who we sadly take back and drop off into the dead box. We then grab cannon fodder to replace it and have something on the team. But I'm devastated at this point and definitely not on my A game or paying full attention, as part of my mind is still there with the corpse of our last hope, which has died. Hopefully, it's not an omen of the rest of the run coming to an end. A bloody, brutal end. Probably by the hands of the IRS. But we can't think of such negative things right now. Now we must focus on defeating these little grunts. So we send T-Fish out there and use her super suction power as she starts draining them all dry with Giga Drain to heal herself and deal catastrophic damage to the enemy. However, no one is an island, and even the mighty T-Fish needs to call for backup. So we go to the tried and true method, sending out Bob. He is our other Intimidate user, an absolute goat, a key critical cornerstone of our party. Also, Bob is going to end up being super needed and useful here, since all of Giovanni's Pokémon use their physical attack stats. That means our Intimidates are going to come in clutch and could be the difference between life or death, as we prepare to fight Old Man Giovanni for one final time. We initiate the battle without sneaking up behind him, as he was already prepared for such ninja tactics, and he leads off with a Rhyhorn, level 45. Bob goes for the super effective dig and gets the Intimidate off. Rhyhorn misses his attack since we were underground, but then goes for speed control with Scary Face. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We dig a second time, bringing him drastically low on health. He also Scary Faces us again. But now we have a problem. We really want Giovanni to use his healing items on his first Pokemon, his weakest Pokemon. But I think the AI needs at least one singular point of damage more on Rhydon before it'll actually use the healing item, because even though it's ridiculously low, he just does not seem to want to heal. He just keeps spamming speed. So now we're trying to do anything we can to put just a tiny modicum of damage on him without actually killing him. That way, Giovanni can waste all his healing items on this low-level grunt and not his scarier Nidoqueen, Nidoking, or Kangaskhan. You'd think this thing would hit itself in its confused state, but it somehow miraculously keeps spamming speed drops through confusion, so we reconfuse it. That's twice the confusion. That's 65% more confusion per confusion. And we swap back into Bob, getting numerous Intimidates off, finally getting the confusion damage, which leads to the healing item being used. We go for the dig, do some damage, nothing crazy. We get hit with an earthquake. It does less than 50%. All those intimidates came in clutch. So rinse and repeat. We go for the dig. He gets confused, hits an earthquake.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
No, 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 no. Wait, 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 wait. Wait, 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 wait.
And update, it hurts.
Oh. Now that's a lot of damage!
I forgot the fun little quirk that if a Pokemon uses Earthquake when another Pokemon is underground with Dig, it either gets a 50% or 100% damage boost. So even though we survived the first one at over 50% health, the second one was guaranteed to kill us. And he couldn't have just hit himself in confusion and avoided this entire situation? But fine. Panicked, reeling from the loss of Bob and the loss of Last Hope, I throw out our tried and true bugger and go for the sleep strats. Put him to sleep and decide to get hard. Maximum level hardness. We're going for 6 levels out, and he wakes up turn 1. Okay. Multi-Rock Blast attack is super effective. If he hits 4 or 5 Rock Blasts in a single attack, we will die. Switch up tactics. Put him to sleep, use Psychic, get the defense drop. He immediately wakes up and uses Rock Blast.
7, 6, 11, 5, 9 and 20 miles today, 4, 11, 17, 32 the day before. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Don't look at what's in front of you. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. Men go mad with watching them. There's no discharge in the war. If your eyes drop, they will get the top of you. Boot, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. Try to think of something different. Oh, my God, keep me from going lunatic. Boom, 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 moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. 7, 6, 11, 5, 4, 17, 32 the day before.
I just lost half my team in the span of like 5 minutes. And most of those were core team members who I was counting on for the Elite Four. But we improvise, we adapt, and we overcome. We send out Nessie to make quick work of the Rhyhorns. Because now it's personal. Now old man Giovanni is gonna get what he has coming to him. Nessie, aptly named after the Loch Ness Monster, because she is something of a monster herself, slaughters the remainder of his team with extreme prejudice, showing old man Giovanni who the boss really is.
Look how they massacred my boy.
After defeating old man Giovanni for one final time, he dips out of here. But first he gives us the TM for Earthquake. We sadly make our way over to the dead box and fill it up.
I killed them. I killed them all. They're dead. Every single one of them. And not just the men, but the women. And the children, too.
After that, I heal up the team and do a little bit of rearranging. Or I do a little rearranging, then heal up the team, then rearrange again as I'm spazzing, not knowing what to do, looking over their levels, and realizing I need to do a good bit of grinding off screen before the next episode. Because I want them all to be at least level 49 or 50. Because the very next big fight we have is against the IRS, blocking our way towards Victory Road. And the last thing we need is what's remaining of our team to get slaughtered. And a lot of these Pokemon are in the 20s and 40s. I mean, rawr, XD is level 5 for crying out loud. We have a lot of work ahead of us. But I teach Earthquake to the king. Oh, thank you very much. Based off the Pokemon that I still have in my box, let me know in the comments below what you think my ideal team setup should be. But I'm going to do a little grinding off screen. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and rest in peace to all our fallen soldiers. And I'll catch you on the flip side.